So to apply the foundation, I usually just grab the little spoolie and just draw some kind of like cat whiskers on my cheeks. And on the rest of my face. I'm actually starting to run low on this. And then to blend it in, I always use a damp beauty blender. So I'm going to set my foundation using the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. I'm so sorry that the lighting keeps going dark. The sun keeps going behind the clouds and my camera just, I don't know. But I'm just going to apply the rest of my makeup anyway, so yeah, that is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so now that my makeup is done, I thought I'd actually talk to you about my actual thoughts on the foundation. So a little while ago I did a Tarte makeup unboxing, but I kind of wanted to do a review after I'd been using it for a little while, because I've always struggled finding a good foundation. And one of the problems that I usually have with foundations is separation. My skin is kind of like combination skin. Sometimes it's really dry and sometimes it's really oily. And because it is kind of a mixture of both, I find that foundation usually clings onto the dry areas and separates at the oily areas. And a problem I always used to have was foundation separating in areas and just becoming really patchy. So I wanted a foundation that didn't do that, but I just thought I would kind of share with you some of my thoughts and opinions on this foundation. So I can honestly say that this is probably one of the best foundations that I have ever used, and I'm not just saying that. The thing is, I think it applies really nicely. I find that when I use a damp beauty blender, it applies a lot better. I've tried using like dry sponges before and it just doesn't have the same effect. So I think for me personally, just using a damp beauty blender does really help to smooth everything out. That might not be the case for everyone, but it just seems to work better on my skin. As for the colour, so I have got light sand and I think it's a pretty good match. I feel like when I was applying it earlier, it did look a little bit yellowy on the camera. And I don't know, in the mirror it didn't look as yellow. So obviously because I do apply bronzer as well, it just kind of adds darker areas to where I feel it needs to be darker. And then sometimes I'll just use highlighter or a lighter concealer if I just want to brighten up some areas. But for an overall base shade, I do find it is a quite good match for me. That's one thing I always worry about when buying foundation online, because I did get this online. I do worry that it's just going to be completely the wrong shade, but this wasn't too bad. So coverage wise, for me, I think the coverage is pretty much what I need. So I used to have quite problematic skin and lately it's not been too bad, you know, touch wood. I used to get a lot of acne and like spots around my jawline and my chin. And like my skin just hasn't been that bad lately, and to be honest I'm not sure why. I am trying to moisturize more, so I don't know if that's really helped, but I've just noticed recently I haven't been getting like the really bad spots like I used to. I used to get really kind of swollen, throbbing spots, you know, the ones that are just like angry spots, and I just haven't had any of those in a while. Saying that, I have got like one random spot in between my eyebrows right now, but I don't usually get spots kind of like towards my forehead area, so this is a one-off, and I do think it's covered it quite nicely. So in terms of overall coverage, I really like this foundation's coverage. It's quite a, I'd say it's a full coverage. But I do feel like it is the kind of foundation where if you wanted a fuller coverage, you could build it up. So if I'm having a not so good skin day, I will probably apply 2 layers of this foundation. If I'm having a good skin day and I want to allow my skin to breathe a little bit more, I'll just apply a really light layer, and that kind of works as like a medium coverage. But overall, I think the coverage on this is pretty good. Alfie, what are you doing, little boy? Ow, you're being a fidget. Oh. But yeah, that is kind of my opinion, my review on the Tarte Shape Tape foundation. Like I said, this one was in light sand, so if you're thinking about getting that colour, this is what it looks like. I just thought I would do a kind of mini review because sometimes when I'm looking for new foundation to buy, I just like to know other people's opinions and kind of their experience with it, so that's what I thought I would do today. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and perhaps I'll see you in the next video. Bye!